Alright, good morning. I will show you how I built Stun Double and the template I used in order to make this shitty, impossible fucking thing for me to drive on. Other people seem to breeze right through, but this is one of my only races that I have trouble getting through. We'll go ahead and load this one up and I'll show you the technique that I used in order to make this one. So as you see, it's a very skinny prop. Don't remember how many props I used exactly for this double. But anybody who's just now starting off in Creator and is trying to make a spiral that consists of more than 30 props, and that's the issue. That's the thing that I want to point out is I've seen people connecting more than 30 props, and you can see the connection point. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to avoid that. You cannot spot any connection between the 30, the 60. This might be close to 90 props. I'm not sure how many I used. But I'll go ahead and delete all the props, and I'll show you how to make that connect cleanly. So first off, let's get rid of all the props. And find a spot to work at. I've always preferred the airport, even though I can use that airport up there, but I'll just use this because I'm accustomed to working down here. And I'm going to go to templates that are already ready. I don't have to build one for you. So for this particular one, I can't recall the angle that I had, the pitch that I had on this spiral. To me, it looks like it's in the 50s, but I'm not sure what the pitch is on that. I don't remember. And the distance, I think, was like 6 speed boosts is what I used. So remember, every time you're doing it, you want to look down vertically, completely straight down. If you are at this angle, it is not going to come out right at all. Always be completely straight down. And I made 2 separate templates for this so I can see how they connect. I made one out of yellow and one out of green. Make sure you turn your prop stacking on. Go ahead and place, and then switch off to your second one. That way you can now see where you want to be. And I think I used that, where there was just that little yellow bit popping out right there. I think that's what I used. And you just continue on and on. And that's the gist of it. All right. So, and the good thing about using the, even though it's too late now that I've moved, the good thing about using this speed boost prop is that once you get over the 30 point mark, now other people will use, 5 to 10 pieces per template. I'm doing a single at a time, as you can see. But with the speed boost, which is nice, and now I'm just going to do a really fast, sloppy one just to show you. But every time I would turn, I have no idea how the prop's lining up. But once you get to a point where you can't lay any more down, which you would be at your 150 mark, with other props, you have to pull away in order to delete the props below you. With the speed boost, you do not. So let's say I'm at 150 props now, and I need to get rid of, well, I just zoom down and go right through the speed boost and start deleting all the ones underneath, and I have not lost my position whatsoever. I've just deleted everything that's below it, and then I'll zoom back up, and now I'm exactly still on top of the last one, keeping, the rotation exactly how it's supposed to be and everything is clean. That's why I use this technique, and shout out to Destroy for showing me this technique. It works a lot better for when you're using a huge template. 100, if you get to 150 props, it works wonders. So let's get rid of all the garbage that's out on the floor right now. Alright, so you've seen template 1 and 2, which are exactly the same, just 2 different colors because it's easy to work with, and you can go back and change your colors later to whatever you want. Alright, this piece right here is exactly 30 pieces, but obviously I've got... It would appear I have 7. Oh, I'm sorry, not 7, I've got 5. 5 pieces to make, 5 different templates to make this one double spiral. And another technique that I've seen a lot of people use is using the ramp. And you place that ramp down, upside down, on top of your template. You select, when you're making your template, you select that piece first, then every other piece until you get your 30 pieces. And when I had built this, obviously every single piece was still here. It made the full double spiral, but as I would select each piece, I would change the color of the last one so I knew where I can continue onto the next one and the next one as it was going up and up and up. And as you start the second template, the first thing you choose is the ramp here, and you would go on to the next piece that would be after the pink. And then you would continue up and up and up and up, and you would do the same thing. Now, the point of having that ramp is so that every piece of the template is going to line up, and I will show you how this works. Now, this is irrelevant news to any old school creator, any creator that's been playing around. This tutorial is based more on the new people that I see making spirals, and I can see their connection points, and building this way will eliminate that. So let's get rid of all the props that are down again, and you'll see how I connect these. Back to 3, and you would put it obviously in the direction you're driving. Pitch, I think. I'll get that up. Yaw should bring it. This one's a little bit screwy. Okay. It's not the best in the world, but this is... Now you make sure you're at a certain distance. Sometimes you're up too close or at a weird angle, it won't connect right. This should connect at this distance here. Make sure your prop stacking's on. And go ahead and lay that down. And scroll over to your 4th template, which is the next 30 pieces of the prop. You can't see it, but it's been laid. Now you can see it on the mini-map. Scroll over to the next one. That down. And I think we were all the way up to template 7. Okay, now all the pieces are laid down, and you want to get rid of that upside down ramp. One, I deleted, wrong prop. Deleted one too many props, but as you can see, there is no connection gap whatsoever as clean as it can possibly be, and the biggest pain in the ass spiral I've ever made. But once again, for the new guys, I did kind of shoot through that kind of quickly. I should have shown you the whole build. It does take a little bit of time to build a spiral this size. Delete all props. Go back to template 1 and 2. Now, I'm not going to go through this 100% perfectly, but just enough to give you an idea on what to do. Well, once again, I'm not going to go through perfectly. We're going to get to the point where I can show you how to utilize the turbo boost strips as your primary prop, and the technique that I used once I got past the 30 prop marker in a template. Now again, I am going through this quickly. I'm not making sure everything's lined up all the way. I've already built this race. It doesn't need to be perfect at this point. And how many props are we at? We're at 40, so really only 20. Yeah. Alright, so once again, like I say, I'm just speeding through this, and just to give you an idea of why I'm using the turbo boost as a primary prop. And as you can see, we're getting into 116 props, and I'm nowhere near as many as I need right now to make a double spiral. I've just connected one spiral now. So I need more. I'm going to need more props very soon. So you just zoom down in through a couple of them. You make sure you don't get the top one, and just start deleting all those props, and you will start freeing it some space. And then you go ahead and zoom back up, and now you're still perfectly on top. And again, I'm not going for perfection on this because the race has already been made, but just a kind of like a quick idea of what to do. And using, like I say, using that speed boost is great because you can zoom right through it and delete all the other ones out of the way, and then zoom right back up, and you're still in the exact same position. So that's 66. So at this point, I do need to make 2 templates if I was just going to do this single. So it appeared to me I've used at least 120 props to make that double spiral. But first thing you do when you get ready to start to create the template, and remember, again, I didn't put these all completely straight. There's a whole bunch that are off. You can see it doesn't line up. This was just kind of an idea of what to do. I used the stunt ramp, or the jump ramp, small ramp. Get it turned in this direction, and go ahead and roll that over. Yeah. Alright, now you can start creating your template. I don't know if I have any template space to show you right now, because I do have, I think I have 9 of them already taken up. I don't need this. I kind of like how that one turned out. That one's weird. It has that little tiny point on there. Unintentional, it just happened. Don't need that right now, and all I need is 2 slots. Alright. I'll create a new template, and you're going to save that ramp as your primary prop. Make sure that's saved first and not the yellow piece. Okay. Now, like I say, other people have different ways. I'm doing it one by one. Some people do multiples at the same time, which is probably a lot faster, but this is the way that I've learned how to do it, and I continue to still do so. And you start choosing all your props one at a time until you've reached 30, and then your marker here will turn red to let you know that you've reached your 30 props. Oh, that's nice and clean right there, huh? Okay, I've reached my 30 props. This is my 30th prop. So I want to remember where I'm at. So what I do, save the template, and I back out to just barrier, turn the prop stacking off, change the color to something very recognizable, pink. I'll remember the, so now template 1 has been saved, and we now remember where we're at, and start a second template, carry on, and you're going to choose this as your primary prop, and you're going to go, this is a problem with this prop, you have to choose so many that you're going to wind up deselecting in the future. I don't remember what the separation is, like 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Every 6 props I have to select one until I get up to continue. Okay, that's the one we left off on, so we're not selecting that. We're going to select the next one. So that one's selected. We remember where we're at. We're going to go back and deselect the ones in between. Okay, so now you can carry on and create your second template. I've already got that first piece already picked. You can see that the ring is white. If it's blue, that means it's ready to select. So now we're on our, this will be our third piece of the template. The first being the ramp, that's the second, that's the third, and then just continue on like you did the first one. And you do this over and over again depending on how many props you have, but this is basically just to show you what you're doing with more than 30 pieces per template. Okay, so you get the idea. Save template, and those are done. And to show you how shitty this one looks, we're on template 8 and 9. Turn your prop stacking on. Pitch this in the position where you can work. Get ready to place that down, and scroll over to template 9, place that down. Now you've got one spiral. It's not even full because I didn't do all the pieces, but there's that, and then you just come back and you delete your ramps. And it's fairly simple, tedious though. You want to make sure all your props line up. Obviously I didn't do it on this, but the end result would be a cleaner spiral, such as template 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And you wait a second for it to register. If you start clicking too quickly, it may not get your second template in. So I give it a few seconds so you see the blue lines appear again. And this is the cleaner version of what I just showed you. One, two, three, 4, 5. And that is the end result. And once again, I'm only making this for people that are creating templates that are over 30 props. If you, this happens to be 126 props for this spiral. And like everybody else, nobody wants to see a sloppy build where you can see the connection pieces, where you're trying to put something on upside down or whatever. It's just not a good idea. This is the way I use. Hopefully this helps anybody else who's just creating spirals for the first time, especially over 30 props. The only downfall I felt with this spiral is I've used so many props that really couldn't do much with the track. You know, I've only got 24 props left. So the other templates that I had were the roundabout, which I am unable to put down for some reason. But okay, anyways, I apologize for that. But that's just, it doesn't get much easier than that as far as connecting the two. And I've seen a few spirals out there lately that are just, it looks like Ray Charles got a hold of the controller, and I'm trying to help prevent that. Everybody wants plays and likes on their races, and spending time and learning how to do the proper methods and creating a multiple template. You know, that's all I'm putting this video out here for, is for the newer guys to make something decent and not felt like they've wasted their time. So that's it for that. End result of this race. I think Halconian still holds first place in it, and it was a very pain in the ass race. And yeah, I made copies because eventually I'll make a number 2, stun double 2, and even though I hate this race, other people seem to enjoy it. And I guarantee I'm falling off. I can never do this race. Yeah, as per usual, I'm off. But all in all, very clean, flawless. There's nothing wrong with it. There's no bumps. There's no braking issues. It's stay on. Clean template build, I think. And hopefully this tutorial helps someone out in the future. Appreciate you joining in, and I will see you next time. Oh. Oh, I see Muhi stop by. What up, Muhi-san? I'll try to do this one more time. It really irritates me. Oh, you fucking cock right at the end, right? Alright, anyways, that's it for me. Thanks for joining in, guys, and I'll see you next time.